What's going on? This is your man John Fortune, your host of the Frustrated Fan Sports Show, and today I guess Ron is on his Vito Corleone stuff. You know, I mean, it's almost like he's giving these guys offers they can't refuse. I mean, today Ron releases Morgan Moses, which we saw kind of coming when they asked him to go seek a trade, but we weren't expecting Geron Christian as well. So that is where I start off, because now you're talking about how much of this is Ron really going after guys prior, guys who have Kyle Smith written all over them. Because if you really think about it, when you think about it, this whole thing is starting to flip. And there's a few guys still on our team that may be released coming up. And it's kind of crazy for me to say this, but I'm starting to see a pattern. You know, you're talking about releasing Morgan Moses. Again, that's the last remnant of the Mike Shanahan group. But again, Kyle Shanahan was here during that time. You're talking about Geron Christian, again, a guy drafted by Kyle Smith and them. So, I mean, I'm trying to understand what's happening here, because it seems like this is starting to get personal. Like, I don't know if this is necessarily about business, even though it could be. But it seems like it's also a little bit of personal involved in that too. Because again, we're talking about Geron Christian was released, and this is the guy that he chose last year to be his starting left tackle. And the only reason Cornelius Lucas was playing was because he got injured. So, and not only that, he was doing good against guys like Garrett and a couple of other ends that they were seeing, that he was seeing early in the season. So this is a strange one, even though I did say we wouldn't have so many questions if Geron Christian was released. But the reason I'm asking this is because now it doesn't ring well with what is happening. So I have to find out this question right now. So now we're talking about all these Kyle Smith guys. So now you're talking about Landon Collins could be next. But there's a guy nobody's paying attention to that's also a Kyle Smith guy. He was also re-signed before Kyle Smith was even gone. He was re-signed before Ron Rivera got here. And that guy is Matt Ioanidis. Is Matt Ioanidis the next guy out this door? Now, hold on. Before y'all say, oh, this is stupid, understand this. Matt Ioanidis is not a Ron guy. Matt Ioanidis is also a Kyle Smith draftee, and also a guy Kyle Smith re-signed. Now, again, we're all sitting here, and anybody, that's stupid. They would never release Matt Ioanidis. But we also didn't think that they would release Morgan Moses. We also, at this point right now, we didn't think that they would release Geron Christian, again, the guy he chose to be his left tackle last year. And again, the guy who would have still been playing left tackle if he had not gotten injured. That's the only reason Cornelius Lucas was playing. Today also, which is one that probably went under the radar, is also Josh Harvey-Clemons being released. Another Kyle Smith guy. Another Kyle Smith guy. So what protects Matt Ioanidis? What really protects Matt Ioanidis? Because when you think about it, Matt Ioanidis is a phenomenal defensive tackle. Phenomenal. But at the same time, how do we not know what Ron's thinking is in this? Because these moves are coming off as strange. And I know that a lot of people may not want to agree with me on that, but they are. Morgan Moses, that's a strange release. Especially for a coach who's known to love veterans. That is strange. Geron Christian, the guy he chose to be his left tackle last year, that is strange. Even though we understand he brought in Charles Leno, a veteran. Think about all the guys he brought in last year were all veterans except for the guys he drafted. So again, I say, what really protects Matt Ioanidis? Because if you really think about it, there are defensive tackles out there. Because I said, wait a minute. Josh Harvey-Clemons, Geron Christian, Morgan Moses, okay, Landon Collins might be out of here. What protects Matt Ioanidis? Because Matt Ioanidis would be the last thing of guys that haven't. Yeah, you could say Chase Roullier, but he accepted a deal. He accepted a deal. So again, what stops anything else? Remember, prior to that, there was talks of them trying to bring in a veteran wide receiver to play opposite Terry McLaurin. Was Ron thinking like that then too? When you really think about it, Ron likes people he trusts and has been around and things like that. But it's strange for him to release veteran players when that is his reputation around the league, that he loves veterans. So then, with this whole thing and thinking about Matt Ioanidis, again, I hope it doesn't happen. But guess what? We also didn't think that Morgan Moses would be released. So with that, it made me want to say, John, go out there and see what defensive tackles are out there. And I did. There's some guys out there. They're up there in age, but again, they're guys. You're talking about Geno Atkins, who's up there in age, but guess what? He will probably be really cheap. He will probably be really cheap for a year. You got Jarrell Casey, who used to be in Denver. Again, really cheap, maybe a year. Last but not least is a Ron Rivera guy. And that's Kawan Short. Kawan Short is on the market. He hasn't been signed by anyone. So with me looking at that and thinking about the moves that Ron Rivera has made so far, I'm a little concerned about what really is going on here. Is he making this personal, or is this really about business? Because again, just like with anything, the reason this team was so good was because of their chemistry. You're now destroying a lot of the chemistry or taking a lot of the chemistry away in hopes that this will be built up a little bit better. Now again, I get releasing guys that were a part of the old regime. But again, Morgan Moses has always been a team guy. And I wonder how much of this is Brandon Sheriff's fault. How much of this with Brandon Sheriff giving Ron Rivera that bad taste in his mouth, how much of this is Brandon Sheriff's fault? That all of a sudden, Ron Rivera feel the need to release so many guys. Don't get me wrong. Again, Josh Harvey-Clemons, I kind of get that. He didn't really play. I get it. Geron Christian was his choice at left tackle over the guy he signed last year. Morgan Moses has been the Iron Man. The Iron Man. a guaranteed 16 games a year. Sat up there, switched to the left side, showed that he could play just as well on the left side in an emergency. What protects Matt Ioanidis? What really protects Matt Ioanidis? That's something you have to ask yourself. That's something Ron has to ask. What protects Matt Ioanidis? What really protects Matt Ioanidis? Because again, you're talking about pretty much almost all the Cal Smith guys are gone. I think the only guys that are here is you got Matt Ioanidis, guys who have not signed new deals. Matt Ioanidis, Landon Collins, I think Deshaza Everett. Yeah, Deshaza Everett. Jeremy Reeves. And I think Cole Holcomb, who they haven't even thought about extending yet. I mean, even though his joint don't come up anytime. No, he actually got, I think, 1 year left. So yeah, he might be coming up soon too. But again, we're in a situation where even though Ron Rivera has gone out his way to talk about how much he loves Cole Holcomb, but we've never heard him say anything about Matt Ioanidis. We've never heard him necessarily pick out Matt Ioanidis. I mean, he is the head coach. He is running the whole thing. Him along with Marty Herney and Martin Mayhew. So hopefully they really do have a plan in place, because like I said again, all this seems a little strange, especially for a coach who's always had the reputation of loving his veterans. This has been your man John Fortune, and this has been the Frustrated Fan Sports Show.